Hey everybody, this is Did You Know History podcast, and I'm Ren. We got Harper again, as
Hi.
usual.
Yes.
I'm just gonna move my screen a bit. Maybe it's a little easier. Okay, there you go. So tonight's podcast is it's a little different than our usual podcast style. It's a little different because I've been thinking about doing um some different videos where I'm actually on the street asking people some history questions. So I thought I tried this with Harper tonight, and um, the questions might be a little bit, could be hard for him, could be not.
Yeah, I'm not a history guy, and
Right, right. So
this might be
we're
bad.
we're trying to see what's the the gauge here. Like
The
maybe,
threshold.
yeah, the threshold. Maybe it's like doesn't know anything. Um, But Harper has some different style questions for me, and
Yeah,
I think it'd
I
be interesting.
I messed up, but you might actually learn some fun things.
Yeah, so we'll try and make this work. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask him some simple, like, one question that has one answer, or I mean they might have two answers, and then it's just like if he knows about it. If he doesn't, then just break down a little bit about the question, the answer, and he would do the same. But I think his is more like multi-layered. I'm not sure, so it's kind of a surprise.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't
Yeah.
I
Um, but I'll start then because it's a little bit
yeah.
easier. Okay. So the first question I want to ask you, I'm looking at my notes right now. Okay, this is pretty easy. I
Oh,
hope
that's
it's
not good. That's
easy.
not good.
Okay. Can you please tell me? Can you please name me the king that ruled the UK during the American Revolutionary War?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm probably gonna get this wrong. There's like
Not
two
just his
people that I
name.
know.
What's his
Okay,
number? Like,
that's the thing. I'm tossed
okay,
between two
all
of them.
right.
It's either King Henry the Seventh or King Henry the Eighth. I'm gonna say the eighth.
Oh my, King Henry VIII is your answer?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh no, this is too hard for you. Okay,
Yeah. Dude, I'm
so
American. Anything
unfortunately, unfortunately, that is wrong. Okay,
perfect.
and
Is it Pope Benedict the Third?
no. Wait, is that? Are you being serious? King Henry
No,
VIII is your answer?
yeah, I know it has to do with like the whole separation, which is why we left like the king was like making the church thing, and it was like Martin
What?
Luther on the
But yet that
church.
has nothing to do with America.
Exactly, because
Oh my
after that we
god.
left. I don't care about the kings in England. Who are those guys?
Oh my god. I thought that was an easier one. I was like, I think
I
this one's okay to write.
look, I thought we were doing American history, so
This is
again,
a
I misunderstood the homework assignment, Johnny.
okay. Okay. So the answer is King George the Third.
There was a
Have you heard?
George?
Oh my god.
Well,
Yes,
there's at
King
least
George
3
the
of them.
Third. There's four actually. I think
Okay.
five later on. Okay, so now I'm gonna explain a little bit about King George the Third. King George the Third actually before Queen Elizabeth II, the one that just passed, and Queen
Okay.
Victoria, he was the third, I think, the third longest reigning British king.
Hmm.
How long did he reign? He literally reigned from uh, before the American Revolutionary War up till the end of Napoleon, pretty much. So he was there during Napoleon. That was like 30 years after um, the Revolutionary War. And actually, there's something interesting. Have you ever heard of the phrase "Mad King George"? Like Mad King
Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
So apparently, he was mad. Now,
Like British
in
mad or like angry mad?
British mad.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so in modern discussions, apparently he had like an actual mental illness
Ah.
or a kind of like, or something imbalance in his system, not like because in past times he was just like some depressed, weird, crazy guy, but actually now they're saying that there is some kind of discussions about his mental health and some actual like reasons for it, we can say. But yeah, that's what they call Mad King George. And actually, towards the end of his reign, he basically wasn't king, and his son became king or ruled for him, and his son was like terrible and didn't do anything. Didn't do anything good for the British, and that was King George the Fourth. So that's the first question that you failed.
I hit it out of the park, man. Hit it out of the park.
These next, there's one I have that I'm like, if you don't know this, oh man, okay.
I think I'm in trouble though.
Yeah. What's your next?
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay, or I guess.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to go all.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
I'm gonna list off 3 things here, and I want you to tell me which is real. Okay.
And by the way, I he's not telling me this. I don't
know.
Okay.
I'm actually trying. Okay. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. That's one.
Okay.
George Washington had wooden teeth.
Okay.
Okay. And the last one is there is something out there called the dancing plague.
Okay, so I could actually break it down and discuss it, so that could be like content. I know that I actually used to think this. I know that we used to think that Washington had wooden teeth, but actually he doesn't. He had like ivory, and he had real human teeth. Do you know where the human teeth came from?
Okay. No, I don't.
Anyway, it's really bad. So that's not true.
Okay.
Or
yeah, animal teeth
or whatever.
And real people teeth, but not wood.
And
That's
ivory
correct.
and whatever. Yes. Okay. So not that. Dancing plague. I mean that one just kind of seems like it's true because it's so random. But let me think. Dancing plague, and you said Einstein invented the light bulb.
Edison,
right? So I believe he made he had the patent for incandescent light bulb, but he maybe didn't make it. So I'm gonna say dancing plague.
That's your answer?
Yes. Okay. And I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So this is the answer to this is dancing plague.
Okay.
And this is something that I had heard about, and I thought it was like a fake thing in history, and then I looked into it, and it's actually pretty neat. Going back to Edison here, apparently he didn't invent it; it was 2 other people, but he improved on it. And their names I didn't write down in front of me here. So the dancing plague was also known as the dance epidemic or the dance mania. And I'm looking at notes on this because there's no way I can remember this if I don't know King George.
That's okay.
It says it refers to a series of incidents in medieval Europe where large groups of people inexplicably danced in a frenzied manner for extended periods of time. And one of the most well-documented one actually took place in Alsace, Strasbourg, modern-day France. They said in July 1518, a woman named Frau Trophier began dancing in the streets in Strasbourg. Soon, others joined her like a flash mob. However, the number of dancers kept increasingly going in over the following days, and it was uncontrollable and accompanied by exhaustion, physical distress, and in some cases, injuries. They estimate that by the end of the month, hundreds of people had been caught up in this dancing frenzy, and they're puzzled and uncertain about how to stop it. Of course, at that time, people thought it was like a curse and like a supernatural event. And they, hold on, cut it right there. Okay. The actual cause of it is still uncertain to this day. And historians and scientists have actually put out theories suggesting either mass hysteria triggered by stress or the fungus claviceps purpura causes hallucinations and convulsions. And so they think that at some point, possibly some of the food they had was contaminated with this, and it made the people freak out and hallucinate and just go crazy in the streets. And they don't actually know why. But
I think I've heard of this now. And it was apparently like something with food. They
Yeah,
think
and they
anyway.
said that other
Oh.
things happen around Europe at different periods of time, but they don't know why. But this is like the big one, if that makes sense.
And this is definitely documented by people at the time. Like
Yeah, it
people
says
start dancing.
1518. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if anybody died. It just said physical distress and in some cases
When when
injuries.
when when you said like they couldn't stop it, I was just thinking like, and then the king just wiped them all out. Like, just get rid of them. Yeah. See, okay, there you go. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Cool. I heard of that. Would you say that the next few questions you have are similar like that? Like,
Yes.
okay, that's
That's
good. That's good. I actually didn't. That's kind of complicated. I don't know that. Okay, here's one that I hope to dear God you know. Okay,
oh no, that's not good.
it's really easy. I thought the King George when I was like, okay, this one you might not know, but Henry VIII. Wow. Okay, so okay, this one I hope I'm hoping. Okay, I made a video about this,
Oh
a
no.
short video a while ago, like 4 months ago, and I'm thinking about making a longer one just to be like, hey, YouTube people, you can learn about this. How many stars are on the U.S. flag, and how many stripes are on
Oh,
it?
okay. No, I do
Please.
know this one. I do know this one.
Okay.
Are you talking about now or like
Yeah. Now.
revolutionary time?
No.
Oh, okay. It's 52 stars and 15 stripes. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
50 stars. It's 50 stars and 13 stripes.
Okay. Good.
The
Okay.
50
Go
here's
on. Yeah.
my and okay, the 50 stars represent the current states and the 13 stripes represent the original 13 colonies.
Woo. Okay. Thank God.
Yeah.
Now, so why did you say 52? That's an interesting point. Why did you say
uh
52?
just to mess with you. I know that there's always been talk about Puerto Rico joining and being 51, and there's been like
Oh,
redesigns to include 51 stars, like to where it looks similar.
oh no, that's not the
Um,
reason. I was saying, do you know why people say 52? Ironically, like what's the
no,
reason they say that number? Oh, you don't know. I thought
no,
you were saying that number as like, because I thought you were being you got confused again. Because a
no,
lot of people
no.
in America, they think, and it's sad it's Americans, they think it's 52 because they think Alaska and Hawaii are 51 and 52. Yeah, that's the real reason.
Oh no. See, I thought you were gonna say something like they're gonna count Washington, DC as an area, and that would be
Oh
like
no,
another
no.
star.
No, but
Wow,
that's the real
really?
thing. They literally think okay, when I say they, I meant like general consensus. People say 52 is because they think Alaska and Hawaii are 51, 52. So yeah, like that's like remember before we filmed, I was saying Jay Leno's jaywalking.
Yeah.
People said like 52, and it's like okay, no, it's 50. It's
There's
50.
50 nifty United States from 13 original colonies. You
I
know
don't know
that
where that
song.
phrase you just said came from, but
Oh, it's
yeah,
a
okay.
song. Yeah, it's a
I
song
never
that we
heard of
like
it.
learned growing up. Oh, okay.
Okay. But that's interesting. You said 51, 52 being Puerto Rico. Oh yeah. I was like, oh yeah, right.
Well,
Um,
if we're going on this, actually, this was just discovered like yesterday. I don't know if you heard about this in the news. The U.S. expanded its territory by like 100, or it's like a million or 100 million square kilometers, and it
huh?
goes up into like the Arctic Circle area because like a landmass is underneath Alaska or something.
What? What do you mean by a
Yeah.
landmass is under
Uh,
Alaska?
it's like they looked at like the plates and it's like the area, and I don't know how, but America was just
You
like,
mean
that's
it's
ours.
under the ice area or
I
just
I didn't look into it. It just said that we expanded by 100 million or something square kilometers, and I thought, how?
what on earth? You
And
mean
it,
the
yeah,
map of Alaska doesn't grow bigger now, or you mean it's under Alaska?
no, I think it's like kind of
Under
like
the
the
Aleutian things? What are the little like
yeah, or it's
oh
like we're claiming that as territory now because it's actually part of like the continental shelf or some weird thing. I didn't know if you'd read about that.
no. You said it was literally yesterday.
Yeah, it like 2 days ago, maybe. I say yesterday for you, 2 days ago, maybe for me,
Oh,
or
okay. Whoa.
3 and 2. Yeah, we live in the future over here.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, Alaska is pretty much like, yeah, America's using that for like oil. Anyway,
They get
all
money
right,
every year for it.
yeah, right, 1,000 a year per
Mm,
person. Okay, good. So you knew that answer. So I'm just gonna let you know I have about four more. So if you
okay.
want me to do another one, You only have 3 more, right?
I got like 3 or 4.
Okay, so then you go next again. What's your next one?
Okay. I'm just gonna give you 2 on this one.
Okay.
Like, pick it's either this one or that one.
So it's the same idea of like which one's real.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait for
Um,
your yeah.
okay. Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
You know Vikings. Okay. The I guess the truth factor, whatever you want to call it, you choose between them. Vikings wore helmets with horns,
Mm.
or a guy from Scotland sold a fake country.
Vikings. So which one's not real or real? Sorry.
Uh, let's pick the real one. I thought these were supposed to be true or false. I don't know how to do questions. I'm a teacher, but I don't really know how to
I mean,
make
you could
tests.
just next time you could just say, is this true or false? Did this happen, etc. Vikings had horns on their helmets, or a guy in Scotland sold a fake country. So because it's so wait, so I'm picking what's fake. No.
Sure. Yeah. Just tell me which one you think is real and which one's fake, and we'll go from there.
Oh boy. Okay, which one is real? Which one is fake? Um,
Hmm.
Ironically, I mean, I honestly, not ironic. Honestly, I would pick Viking helmets being real. Like I'm
Okay.
just being like, even though it sounds so crazy, that one might be real. I think Viking helmets did have horns. When you say horns, you mean like this thing, right? Like the two?
Yeah, like the
Okay.
stereotypical Skyrim look.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they do have horns.
Okay.
And the Scotland guy, he's a Scottish guy,
Yes. Yes.
sold a country.
Yes.
That one I feel like is fake, but he probably sold something that's like massive.
Okay.
So
So before we go into this, have you seen the people who like sell like the titles that like you can sell land in like England and become like
oh
a lord or
Jesus,
lady?
yes, that
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. We're not going into that,
Oh okay.
but it's along that same line here. However, I always thought Vikings had horned helmets. That's what I picture a
Yes.
Viking. Apparently, that's false. It
Oh.
says there's no historical evidence that ever supports the idea that they wore horned helmets. In fact, practically speaking, it makes it unlikely because if they're wearing horns, someone can just grab it and pull it. That kind of makes sense to me. I don't
The close
really know.
combat grab it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
Okay.
okay. So,
Oh.
uh the guy who sold a fake
So you
country.
mean I
It's
got it wrong? Mine's
yes.
flipped. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is called the Poyais scheme, and it was a notorious financial scam orchestrated by a Scottish soldier. And this is true too. His name is Gregor MacGregor.
Gregor
A
MacGregor.
name so nice they named him twice. Gregor MacGregor in the early 19th century. So in 1822, Gregor MacGregor began promoting Poyais, or I'm probably saying it wrong,
Mhm.
Poyais, Poyais, as a promising and fertile land with abundant resources. And he claimed to be the chief of Poyais and even produced maps and pamphlets
Mm.
and promotional material talking about how great this country was. Um, and he was telling the people of Scotland, like, hey, I can sell this to you, like a plot of land, and you can go live there and it can be yours. It's got great resources, all that stuff. And he convinced people that Poyais was an ideal destination for seeking new life and financial prosperity. Okay. He attracted investors and sold bonds and land certificates for Poyais.
Wow.
Many families and individuals invested their entire life savings believing that they're going to have this like prosperous financial future. Um, in reality, though, Poyais does not exist, and in no way, shape, or form is this a country in. I think it was supposed to be South America, Central America, Central America.
Wow. Yeah.
However, those who fell for his scheme discovered they had been swindled when they attempted to travel to Poyais and found nothing but jungle. The
Damn.
scam caused financial ruin for many people, and McGregor actually did face legal consequences. However, he managed to evade punishment for his role and continue to engage in dubious ventures, just selling out people and doing stuff. And the Poyais scheme is one of the most infamous examples of investment fraud in history.
Did it say how much
So,
he stole?
No, I just couldn't believe his name was Gregor MacGregor. I thought that was I thought that was fake.
Wait, sorry, the video just kind of froze there. You didn't
Yeah.
say how much he got?
No. I could probably send that to you and we can add that in there. But like
No, that's okay. But
I could not
wow.
believe that this dude basically made up a country, made brochures and maps, and was like, "Oh, beautiful Poyais," and then people bought it and then
I
went to Central
mean,
America.
it makes sense that it would happen in those days, not 2024, because you could literally just Google it, and it's just
Yeah.
kind of sad if you get. Wait, but what did I say? I said it's probably not true. Right?
You said that one's probably not true, but someone was selling
Real
something.
land of something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Okay. I didn't guess that. Wow. Interesting.
yeah.
Did they happen to say on that list or that fact you were looking
The
at? Did
website.
they say, yeah? Did they say what were the other investment fraud schemes? Like Bernie
No,
Madoff has to be up there. Like,
no, it remains. Wait, yeah, well,
yeah.
that's a different video.
Yeah.
But it says it's one of the most infamous examples of investment fraud schemes in history.
Wow.
And then
Interesting.
it said,
Scotland.
"Do not trust charismatic individuals who are promoting fictional opportunities."
Hmm.
So if Mickey Mouse pops up, because we can use him now.
It's kind of interesting. I know this. I'm not trying to be like biased towards America, but like I always assumed these like scams, the idea of a snake oil salesman.
Yeah,
I thought that was an American thing, like because
like the
people
Old
were,
West.
yeah, because people were
Yeah,
like moving from East Coast to the West, and it's like it's so big. There's so much like what ifs there that they've never discovered anything. They don't know anything about it. So I always assumed like that was more of an American. I'm not
yeah.
saying no one ever cheated abroad, but I just meant like, man, you could the British Empire. You would assume like I don't know, people just would kind of figure out like,
Well, maybe they did that
wow,
because they knew they couldn't do it in Scotland. So he was like, "Hey, I traveled to this beautiful place called Poyais."
it's crazy because wait, did he say he owned it? No, he's just saying
No,
he
he was the
the land.
chief. He
Oh,
was the chief of this. No, well, it's a word that I can't pronounce, but I think it's a
oh,
made
like
up word. It's like
okay.
Cazique, Kazik, maybe I don't know, but it means the chief of Poyais.
Oh wow, that's just stupid people then. Okay, I for some reason I thought you said he like was a realtor for that place, and I was like, okay, maybe the
No, he was just a Scottish dude, and I can't even
did he
imagine the
point to the
accent he
map?
was using.
Did he
No,
point to the
he
world?
made maps.
No, I'm sorry. You said people went to the area. So did he say like, "Oh, it's here"? Or you
It
probably
says
don't.
that it says that it was a fictional Central American country. So he may have drawn a map of like the thing and been like, "It's right here," and then people go there.
Oh,
And then of course,
wow.
especially
Now
in
I don't know about Spain, but I think oh no, actually that might have been oh yeah, so it wasn't Spain back then during that time actually. So
oh, who like
okay,
owned it?
yeah, because Spain pretty much owned all of it, and then they fought revolutions against Spain, so that it broke off. But it makes sense why people would be confused. Interesting. Okay. Wow, I did not
Yeah,
expect that at all. I've actually never heard of that. I've heard of the Dancing Plague, but like, wow, that's pretty
yeah.
interesting.
That's what I was saying earlier. Where it's like I heard that, but I never looked into it. This one, I was like, this is real. Gregor
Yeah.
MacGregor. Okay.
Okay. And most of my questions are kind of like leaning towards the US, but they're not. So I'll give you one. It's a different one.
Okay.
Now, I hope you know this one. If you don't, oh God. Okay, this is not American. This is not an American question. So,
Oh,
do you
good.
know?
No.
And this is only one answer. Okay, it's not a multiple choice. Do you know which country in the world claims to have an unbroken dynastic line that lasts for over 2,000 years? So, do you understand that question? What that means?
I do, yes. And let me just start off by saying I'm going to get this wrong.
No, are you serious?
Well, I have a guess. I don't know for certain. Okay.
Guess.
I'm just throwing this out there.
I'll help you out.
No. I don't want any help. I'm going to take a guess on this one.
Okay, if you get it wrong, then I'll give you a clue.
No, well, I'm going to get it wrong. I'm going to say, because we both know it's Korea. And by that, I mean it's China.
China? No, okay. I should preface by saying that this dynastic line still exists. Sorry. To this day. So the country's claiming that their dynastic line goes back all the way to back then to now.
That's why I said Korea, because you and I both know all the amazing facts about like pizza being invented 10,000 years ago.
We have Korean fans. No, we don't.
I have met people who say this. Now, that's why I then said China, because that's the only one that I know that has dynasties, unless you're talking about royalty dynasties.
Yes,
which I would probably say.
Yes,
oh, great.
That
opens up the can of worms, dude. I don't know what this is.
I should probably rephrase the question.
Japan?
Okay, that's the answer.
Okay.
Now, what I should have said was
dynasty.
So what that means is one bloodline. Like it's one bloodline from all the way from the back to past to now.
Are they saying that about the emperor?
Yes. Now, is that true? It's what they claim. Okay, so so they claim that it's called the chrysanthemum throne, right? So they claim that the first emperor up to the present emperor has the same bloodline. Now I will say this. Apparently, even when the emperors were under the control of daimyos and the shogun, right? There were still emperors. Like in Japan, there were emperors. Even though the shoguns are basically like the kings or whatever, like there were emperors, people. But they were constantly held in Kyoto and maybe Nara, whatever. But they basically couldn't move. They couldn't move. They couldn't leave. They had to stay there, and they were constantly controlled for however long the Tokugawa family lasted. They were like 300 plus years. But before Tokugawa, I think it was like other powerful daimyos controlling the emperors. But that's what they claim. They claim that the imperial line started from like first dude all the way to the current emperor.
See, that's why I said China. Apparently, I know that in this part of the world over here, it's like China has the longest history type of thing. Like everything over here has an extreme history compared to us Americans. But that's why I was like, it's got to be China, because it's like the oldest thing over here.
Yeah, what you meant by China was correct in the sense that they claim to have dynasties that were like 3000 BC up to now, right?
Yeah.
But the difference is China's imperial line is like none of them are related to each other. Like literally, you have like a general become the emperor of China, and that general started like a 300-year dynasty. So that general has like no royal blood and whatever the heck. But apparently they claim to have this 2000-year bloodline. Have you not heard of that while living in Japan?
No.
Damn. You've been That's why I was like, I hope you get this one. I should have phrased it better, but like I was like, I hope you get this.
Well,
you didn't get it. I mean, once I phrased it, yeah.
In a sense, again, like when you look at historical things, I guess, it's like especially in this part of the world, as I said earlier, like there's so much history here, but you can see it kind of started and expanded outward. So if you're talking like original, I'm not trying to start a debate, but I've always thought China was the first and it expanded outward.
Apparently.
Into other countries.
That's what it is, yeah. Wow, I'm so surprised you never knew that fact.
I've never heard
sorry,
that.
Not that fact, but not that statement that they made. Wow. Okay. All right. So I'm glad that one, I was like, hope you get it, but I should have phrased it better. So I still have one.
I've gotten one right.
Two. Yeah, no, I have 1, 2, 3 more. Okay.
3 more chances for me to look like an idiot. This is
Yeah.
great.
Do you want me to do another one? Because you only have 2 more, right?
Well, the last 3 that I have, I
Oh, you have
guess,
3.
are
Okay.
I do, but I don't know how I'm gonna throw them out there because your questions are much different than mine.
The style fit. Um,
Yes.
or yeah, okay, we'll just do it our way. The styles we have right now, whatever. Do you want me to present another one? You go next.
Um,
Because it would be like I would finish it, you would finish it off. So it makes sense if you go next
let's
anyway.
see. Well, okay. I don't know how I'm going to press this. We're just going to jump right into this, like crash
Okay.
course style. We've talked about World War II a lot, and we've talked about other things that go on. We know about the Vietnam conflict. We know about the Korean War. We know about World War One, also known as the Great War.
Yes.
Did you know that there is actually a war called the Great Emu War?
So I just say yes or no.
No, it's like true or false. Is that a real thing?
Oh, true or false?
There was World War One, the Great War. World War Two, everyone knows. Korean War, Vietnam conflict. I mean, there's wars
You said
everywhere.
it's
You
called
got
the Great Emu War
yeah,
or the Emu War?
no, the Great Emu War.
The Great Emu War. I generally have never heard of this, and based on how you're setting up this question, I'm going to say it's true, but we could make this a little different. How about I guess where this war happened?
Oh, or
It never
how
happened.
it was fought.
Okay, so it is a real war. Okay, so I'll
It
okay.
indeed
How,
is.
how about I guess where it is? Because that I would really wouldn't know. Okay.
Okay.
Um, Emu War, and I'll guess how it's fought. You could have just
Yeah,
asked a question like that. Okay.
sure.
Um, I'm gonna say number one, where it was fought, Africa. You don't
Okay.
hold, don't okay.
Yeah. Okay.
How it was fought.
Mhm.
Hmm. It was fought. Sorry, you mean weapons or like? What do you mean? Like
Yeah, if you want
just
to do like for instance, in the old days they fought like on horses and then now they fight with drones. If you want to use that or weapons
okay.
like lightsabers, sure, let's go
So
with that.
I'm gonna guess somehow one side fought with cavalry and one side
Okay.
fought with emus.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You're correct is what I would be saying if you were right, but you're not right. On both accounts.
Really?
So
Oh,
so
I don't know where emus are from. By the
well,
way.
number two is kind of close.
Okay.
I actually thought when you said I'm going to guess where it's from, you were going to get it right because when I
Hmm.
think emu, I think Aussie
Didn't even
because
know that.
all the weird animals are in Australia,
Wait,
and
I
an
have to get.
emu,
Emu was a bird, right? Yes.
it's a weird flightless bird, kind of like an ostrich, but not as big.
Ah.
Okay,
Ah.
so the reason why I said the Great War is because it's called the Great Emu War, and it took place in 1932.
What the
Um,
1932? Okay.
okay. So
All
this is
right.
the one I heard about this, and I thought this is funny. I have to somehow talk about this.
Okay.
I don't know how I'm going to put this into a thing other than like great wars and histories. Okay. Um, 1932. It was the Great Depression all around the world. Everyone knows
Okay.
about that, which would be another video. Okay. In Australia, large flightless birds, emus, were causing significant damage to crops and farmers in Western Australia. So farmers who were already struggling with the Great Depression now had these gigantic birds like eating their crops. And they're like, dude, help us out. So the government said, you know what? We're going to send a military there and just destroy them. So they sent soldiers armed with Lewis machine guns, which are the gigantic like LMGs from World War One, and
Mm-hmm.
10,000 rounds of ammunition. And they went down there with a military style operation to kill them. And the soldiers, who were led by Major GPW Meredith, faced this challenging task because apparently emus that our animals and our birds are very agile and elusive, even for a LMG. Um,
Wow.
so the emus, with their speed and agility, often outmaneuvered the machine gunners, and additionally, the soldiers had to contend with mechanical issues because machine guns um, kind of were used in World War One,
Right.
and the emus were also scattered, so they couldn't really hit their target. So about a month of military operations had gone on with very little success, and the Australian government decided to say, "We're done. We're backing out." So the war against the emus was considered a failure. And now, since then, has become a humorous and somewhat absurd episode in Australian history. So the Great Emu War highlighted the challenges trying to control the wildlife populations through military means, and has been remembered as a quirky and unsuccessful attempt at a unique agricultural problem.
Wow. So yeah, two things. I didn't know emu were from Australia. I just thought Africa for some reason.
Ostrich, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought okay, and wow, that just shows how crap they were at shooting. Like, right? Like they're probably just standing there and just
After a month,
yeah. I know.
they're like, "All right, we give up. We're out."
Well, to be fair, it's not a war, but yeah. Okay. Wow. Great Emu
Yeah.
War.
So you were kind of right when you said cavalry, and the other side were fighting with emus because it was
So no, when
LMGs.
I said what I said about being in Africa, I was literally thinking some like African tribe was using them against the British or something. Like,
Like riding on emus.
I mean, you'd be surprised with
I They can
with
do it with an
what
ostrich.
I mean. People were riding camels in the battle, and I never
Yeah.
understood that. But yeah, wow. I actually never heard of that. Okay, that was good. But next time you ask me the question, you can ask it like that. If it's like, because obviously I was assuming that that was real in some way.
Yeah,
But
I don't know how to put these together, dude.
that's
I
okay.
don't know how to do game shows.
Now we're gonna stay with the theme of wars. Now
Oh,
this is
goodness.
again kind of America, so hopefully,
Oh
because I try
no.
to do this easier for
No.
Chris.
Ooh.
If you can, I mean, you kind of named like. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little harder this question because
Cool.
you named three things that were not okay. Anyway, so can you name 5 wars the U.S. has fought in, and don't include World War I and World War II?
Okay.
You already listed 2 just now.
I
Okay,
am gonna ask, are you considering the Vietnam conflict as Vietnam War?
of course it's a war.
Well,
Yeah,
well, well. Okay, so there's that one.
okay, Vietnam War. Yeah.
Yes, there's the Korean War.
Okay.
There's the American Revolution.
Okay.
Are you gonna include the French and Native American one?
And what's the name of that one?
Well, no, I don't want to. I don't know if I could say that now in 2024. Uh,
Well, you could. I mean, well, we
it's
weren't
like the French and
America back
Indian
then.
War.
Yeah. But
Okay,
we were not American back then, so that doesn't count.
okay. Then there's the Iraq War,
Okay. Okay.
and then there's
Try to use another one besides like the 2 Iraq wars, but yeah. And you're like, there were 2?
yeah, I wasn't.
Come
Hold
on,
on.
Desert Storm. It's like,
No, that was like the 90s, 80s, and
yeah, so
90s.
there's 4. Uh-oh.
Hold on. Oh, I know this one. The
Okay.
War on Drugs, Dare.
You can't name a 5th one?
No, I'm trying to go. I know there. I
I mean,
said
you could.
American Revolution. There's the Civil War.
Okay, that's 5 then. Civil
Oh,
War.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay. I mean, you could have said Afghanistan. Like that's considered
I
civil,
was gonna go that direction,
a
but I
different one.
figured
Okay.
it's
Okay, good.
yeah.
Okay, that worried me a little bit. Okay, I was just like, really? Um,
So
so
War on Drugs is 6, though, right?
it's still not over.
War
Still
on
not.
Terror,
It's
that's
still,
7.
it's still not over. Yeah, these wars are not over. Yeah, that's good. I'm surprised you actually knew the French and Indian War. I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Also known as the 7 Years' War. But anyway, yeah, that's good. Did you ever hear the thing about the American, like the America as a nation? that in our entire existence, it's maybe now, I don't know what's the years now.
2024.
240 something years now the US has
Oh,
existed. No, 200
1776
230 something. No, 240
to
something, right?
2024. Yeah, I'm not good at math.
240 something. Anyway, so did you know that apparently in our entire existence as a country, they use the word war, but it's like, okay, I wouldn't use the word war, but conflict. That
246.
the entire history of the United States, that we've been in perpetual conflict for our entire history, except like 3 years. Did you ever hear something like that, or no?
It wouldn't surprise me. In fact, the
Yeah.
Cold War was another one.
Well, no. When I say conflict, I mean like we U.S. soldiers
Like
actually
troops on the
fought
ground.
for like.
Uh,
So let's just say the U.S. is 250 years old, we have actually had soldiers fighting for 247 of those years, or some kind of number like that. It's pretty insane. They use the word war. It's like, it's not war. It's like conflicts.
battles, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever hear about the I think it's called the Battle of Tripoli? It's like the US Marines. They have a thing called the Shores of Tripoli in their song.
I think, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Tripoli is like a place in, I think it's Morocco?
True or false?
Somewhere there. And basically, like, Jefferson sent US Marines on a ship to attack, like, or a few ships to attack that country because they were pirates and attacked American ships. Jefferson from like, yeah, so that was part of the years of like conflict too.
Holy smokes, we've been the world police for a long time. I thought it was just like 2004 with Team America.
Team America. 1945, I would say, is probably America as
yeah.
Anyway, no politics there. So okay, good. You got that one in. Hey, 2 out of 4?
Does the Cold War count though?
As a war? No, I would not say.
Oh, okay.
But you've heard of the term proxy wars, right?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
They say proxy wars, but like American soldiers rarely fought except during Korea and Vietnam. But they were so big that they became their own wars. But they were all part of the Cold War, right? Like,
leading up to, especially.
Right. So it was like already big itself. Okay, so you got another one. I still have 2 more. Yes, 2 more.
Okay.
Not American related, so you can go on now.
I actually don't know how I'm going to set this one up now.
If you want to go ahead.
It is American. You know about the Boston Tea Party?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know about anything else in Boston that happened by any chance?
Around that time?
No. Okay. Yeah, I really don't know how to set these up. I really did. I thought I had an idea here. So, no,
you could
that's way too.
You could just you could ask me like 3 different scenarios or whatever again.
Okay.
Because I clearly might not even know what you're referring to.
Okay, so Boston Tea Party, cool. Everyone knows what happened there, and if you don't, well, that's history.
Look it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say look it up, but that's history. We had a big tea party. Everyone enjoyed tea. No, everybody who knows Boston typically thinks of like Irish or like a lot of drinking, like Sam Adams, for instance. Or I think he's from or the brewery is.
Yes.
So which one came out of Boston? The Great Molasses Flood or the Great Beer Flood of where is it? Oh no, where did it go? Hold on. The Great Beer Flood of 1814.
It seems like you're reading it.
Yes.
Unless you're just using the year for either or.
Possibly.
The Great Beer Flood or the Great Molasses Flood?
The Great Molasses Flood or the Great Beer Flood of 1814.
So which one happened, you're saying?
Yes. Which one is real? I don't know how to word questions.
Great Beer Flood. What are molasses?
Molasses is like that thick.
It's
It's like
not
a
the drink.
black substance. No, it's like you put it in like food and cakes and stuff, and like your baking ingredients. I think
Oh God. Okay. Judging from the setup, I'm gonna say Great Beer Flood of 1814
is
is
which one?
real. It happened. Sorry,
Hmm. In Boston.
in
We
Boston.
could.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're wrong.
Oh,
I gotcha. Okay, so um I tried to set it up with Sam Adams and beer just to throw it there. But it
oh yeah.
says the Great Molasses Flood, also known as the Boston Molasses Disaster, is an
1814.
unusual
Oh,
an
okay.
unusual industrial accident that occurred on January 15th of 1919. So just a
Hmm.
few days ago, they celebrated their 100th anniversary ish
100
of
plus.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like 104, 105, I guess. And it said the disaster was caused by a rupture of a large molasses storage tank owned by the Purity Distilling Company. The tank was 50 feet tall and 90 feet in diameter, and it contained about 2.3 million gallons of molasses. Now, again, molasses is that really thick substance.
Sticky. I'm guessing. Yes.
Yes. So the tank burst open, and a gigantic wave of molasses came down through the streets of Boston at a speed of roughly 35 miles an hour. So
Whoa.
this is like a
It was
tsunami
deadly.
of molasses. Oh yeah. It devastated
Whoa.
the areas around it, destroyed buildings, turned vehicles over. It caused immense amount of damages. The thick, sticky substance made rescue really challenging, and people and animals became trapped. And in total, 21 people died and 150 people were injured.
Whoa.
Now,
And they're celebrating that now. What the heck?
well, I don't know if they're
Oh,
celebrating.
you're like commemorating. Oh, I was like,
Yeah, this no,
oh
they're not like,
wow.
hey, molasses
Yeah,
disaster.
21 died.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it
Oh
says the exact
wow.
cause of the tank failure was determined due to a combination of a few different things: structural integrity, rapid fermentation, and then obviously that builds up pressure. So
Mm.
boom, and apparently it was an unreasonably warm weather that caused it to expand and ferment faster. So just poof, and it exploded.
Wow.
The aftermath of the Great Molasses Flood led to legal actions and increased scrutiny on industrial safety standards. So there's a few things that we've done in our country where it's like FDA.
Mm.
Um, and this incident remains as a unique and tragic chapter in Boston's history, illustrating that unexpected and severe consequences can result from industrial accidents. Now, without going into other things, I know there was one a few years ago that was huge, a big explosion that was like basically the same thing, like heated up and exploded.
In
So
Boston?
no,
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
was it Beirut?
Oh, I think in the US. Oh, yeah, yeah, the
No.
Beirut one.
So
Yeah,
like
Lebanon,
even
Lebanon.
okay. So even back like 100 years ago, there were things where it was like it was getting warmer, and they were just like, it's okay, it's gonna hold, and there's and then you got like
Right,
a
right, right. Yes.
tsunami of molasses coming down, just destroying things.
Yes, yes.
So
Interesting. No,
yeah,
I literally thought like beer. Um yeah, I've never been. Have you been to Boston? No.
I have not. I've always wanted to go to visit the Sam Adams Brewery, actually. So I
I
threw that
I
in
I
there.
generally don't like Boston because I'm a Lakers fan, and we have a rivalry that
Boo,
lasts the beginning of
boo,
the NBA. So
boo,
yeah,
boo.
there's
Wait, the
that
beginning of the NBA. Where were the LA Lakers?
in Minnesota. Anyway, did you know that?
Yeah, I did. Yes, that's why I was asking. Just like the
Did you
Utah Jazz
do
are
you know
from
Texas?
what?
No, I don't
No,
know.
where's jazz popular?
New York?
Louisiana, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they moved to Utah where everyone is like this,
Oh.
and no one wants to listen to jazz. Any
No,
Utah people out there, I know your
it's
country
funny, the
state is
Boston
amazing.
Celtics. This is
Yeah,
really big tangent. Boston Celtics, they have 17 championships, and we just got 17 now too, a few years ago, during COVID. And Boston is like, oh, now you have 17. Yeah, right. It doesn't count. 5 of them were in Minnesota. It's like, okay, come on, guys, same team. Come on,
Well,
guys. Anyway,
I don't think they exist anymore. Sacramento Kings.
they're here. They're still here.
Oh, okay.
They're
Do you know
good.
where they're from?
Originally, no.
Yeah. Really? Oh man,
Sacramento. No.
Yeah, Kansas City.
Oh,
Kansas City
like
Kings, Kansas City Royals,
hmm.
Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm
I mean,
I'm a lifelong Lakers fan. I just don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could go on like sports history, and I'm not even a sports
There's
guy.
this great like Jerry West. He lost to the Boston Celtics like 7 times in the finals, and he says he has not gone back to Boston in like 50
Since?
years. Yep, he said he hasn't been back to Boston in 50 years.
Wow.
And he says whenever he sees the color green, he gets angry. Apparently, and you know, honestly, you look at his like interviews and all these things, he's never wore green. Like honestly, I'm not even kidding. Like I think
Well, I mean, the
he's stuck with
Celtics
that to the
were
core. Green and
Celtics were
white.
pretty good in like 80s and 90s with David Bird.
All right, people are like turning off now. Like basketball. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so I have 2 more.
Okay,
so it's gonna end with me. Okay, I'm gonna ask this question, and this is kind of ironic, but let me just ask this question: do you know the king that was famous? Oh, who is the king that is famous for marrying 6 different women?
Oh gosh. Okay, this is like one of the answers from the beginning. Is it King Henry the Seventh, or is it the 8th?
Eighth.
Is it the 8th?
Okay. Woo! There you go. Yeah, your background on King Henry VIII was ironic, kind of true. What you said about like him wanting to leave the church, but then somehow you merged it with America. I was like, no. So
isn't that the whole thing? Like, no, okay.
no. So King Henry VIII, he was I believe he was Catholic. He was Catholic, and basically, while there was Catholicism, there was also Protestants at the same time, right? Martin Luther, the thing you said about the door. So he wanted to, I think, now I don't know a lot about this, but basically he wanted to divorce his first wife because I think she wasn't able to have an heir.
Yeah. It
Something
was like
that.
Was, yeah.
And he was like, you know, hey, Pope, I want to divorce her, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, the Pope's like, you can't do this. It's because it's against our religion. And Henry VIII was like, well, screw this. I'm going to create my own form of religion, which was a kind of Protestant religion. It's called Anglicanism. Anglican Church. Anglican is also British, the term. So he made the Anglican Church and basically divorced his first wife. I think he might have killed that one. I don't remember.
He went through like 5 or 6.
So he basically
some of them died, and
so quite a few he beheaded. Like this guy's dead.
But it was like he just made this because he wanted a divorce.
Yes, right. Yeah. And then his last wife is the one that basically gives birth to I believe Elizabeth, the Queen Elizabeth, that one. That's famous now. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, that's mine. Okay, I'm glad you got that one in. Yeah. So 3 out of 5, right? No,
well,
4
no,
out of 5.
I don't know. I just know there were like big names in history, and it's like 7th or 8th. I don't know, but I know those 2 are popular.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
All
right, your last question, and then I have one more.
I don't know how to word these. Okay. Let's see. Gosh, let's just go with this way. I'm gonna let you pick the real one, I guess. Which one is real? Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake." Cleopatra invented, if you would call it, I guess that what we would consider perfume nowadays, or
okay.
Oh wait, I'll just throw it out there. A beer flood. I can't find my notes quick enough. Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake." Cleopatra had and wore the modern day equivalent to perfume, and a beer flood. 1814. I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that year.
Oh, I've actually heard there is a discrepancy with Marie Antoinette saying that. but I think okay. Based on my memory, I might be confusing things. I'm
Okay.
gonna say. So, what you're saying, which one is true, right? So,
Yes.
beer flood. No. So, um, um, I'm actually gonna say Marie Antoinette, but my addendum is people misunderstood the meaning of the phrase. But I'm gonna say it's true. The Marie Antoinette let them eat cake.
Well, if you're going that way, you got it correct, but that's not the answer I was going for. Because let them eat
Okay.
cake was actually never what she said, but she did say
Damn.
something that had to do with, as you said, like starvation or something, and people may have misinterpreted it and wrote it down that she said that.
That's
Um,
probably what I was confused with. Okay.
yeah, other people have said that Cleopatra had her own line of perfume, if you will. Also false. I don't know why. I maybe people thought like myrrh, like oils and stuff, but she did not.
So it's the beer
Uh,
flood.
the beer flood. Yes, I got you again. Okay,
This is
so
ridiculous.
it is a beer flood of 1814.
What?
In, do you want to take a guess where?
Okay, now this is where I'll take a. Can you tell me which country? Or are you saying the country is the answer? Or sorry, I meant. Or
Yeah,
give a
take a
city.
guess on the country. No, take a guess on a country. I'll let you
Okay,
get the
beer
country.
flood, beer. Got to be Germany.
Again, correct is what I would say if you were right, but it's not. Um, and it's not Scotland with Gregor MacGregor. It is the London beer flood of 1814.
Wow.
Um, Basically similar to the Molasses flood. It was a vat that held 135,000 gallons of beer. If
Whoa.
you don't use freedom units and you're from a different part of the country, it's 610,000 liters.
Whoa.
Okay, of beer burst, and a powerful force just sent the liquid flying down um, into other vats that had other liquids and beer and stuff. And as a result, a massive wave of beer swept through the brewery and into the streets surrounding the area. The beer it went into streets, causing damage. Houses were destroyed. 8 people lost their lives on this one, and the victims died because they were either trapped in debris or drowned in the beer. I don't know if they
Damn.
thought I'm gonna drink it and
Yeah,
went for it or
they were
not.
thrilled when dying.
They're
Actually.
yeah, they're like, this
Um.
is amazing. Oh, this is a bad idea.
Wow. You said it was in London.
London, and the brewery's
Wow.
location was in a densely populated St. Giles area,
Giles. Maybe
Giles,
Giles. Giles.
Giles, like
Maybe
Nigel, but who knows? Populated
Giles.
St. Giles area, and that's why it was such a big thing. The
Hmm.
brewery owner argued the catastrophe, kind of going on King Henry VII here. The brewery
Eighth.
owners, yes, that's what I said. Definitely not seventh. The brewery owners argued that the catastrophe was an act of God. And after
Oh.
an inquest, the jury found the event to be accidental. Uh, the London beer flood is a unique and tragic historical event showcasing an unexpected consequence of industrial accidents. Again,
Hmm.
and while it might sound somewhat comical, unfortunately, people did die. So there is an unfortunate consequence, those affected by the sudden indulgence of alcohol.
People don't know that's an alcoholic drink, by the way. They think it looks like
Cool.
it looks like a Sprite.
No, it's yeah.
Japanese
So yeah,
highball. Yeah, cool. Wow, I didn't know that.
Shuhai. Yeah.
Oh, Chuhai.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have one more question. I think
Okay.
this might be easy for you. I think.
Oh no.
So this will finish up our podcast. The question is, what is the largest empire in history by land?
Dude.
Come on, come on.
British.
Correct. So
Yeah,
it's
because
the
they owned
British.
like 80% of the world at one
Okay,
point.
not that bad, not that much, but yes, they were the largest empire in history. Do you know a famous phrase about that they said about the British Empire? A famous phrase about the sun that I personally love.
About the sun?
Yes, it's a comment. It's a quote about the sun that is related to the British Empire.
It's not Praise the Sun, is it?
No.
No, I think that's from
So
a video
maybe you don't
game.
know the
No.
quote. The quote is, "The sun never set on the British Empire."
Yeah, I have heard that.
That's a
I
pretty
heard, yeah.
badass quote. I'm
Yeah.
not condoning empires and people being subject. Sorry, I'm just saying it's a very badass way to like, wow, like so wherever the sun was shining or rising, the idea is that the
Yeah.
British Empire was there. This is kind of related to when we talked about, you asked about France, why I like France so much. It's kind of related to me being interested in like the sheer power of the British Empire. I was very interested in learning about that too. But yeah, so you got
Yeah.
you got like 5 out of 6, right?
And now I'm actually not sure about this. You would probably know more about this. The British Empire
Yes.
was the last one that they, I guess, gave back or let go of. Was that Hong Kong in like 2000? Because that was under British rule, wasn't it?
1996 or 7. I can't remember. Was technically,
No, I
it
thought it
might
was
be.
like 1999 or 2000.
No, it was like 1990. I can look it up right now. Hong Kong handover. It was 1997. Okay, that was right. And actually, the funny thing is, Prince Charles went to that event to like hand over Hong Kong to the Chinese. Like, or no, sorry, now King Charles. But yes,
yeah.
I mean, it could be the last one. I don't know, but yes, Hong Kong was probably one of the most like televised ones, and it was like quite famous and well known. The handover. What was the date? Let me see. July 1st. Interesting.
I thought I was in high school for that.
1997. How old will you be then? Middle school?
I wasn't in high school. No, I was in middle school. But I thought
okay. Here's something interesting. I was too young at that point. I was like 8, so wouldn't remember that. Was that like a thing in middle school?
I think I was 35.
35.
Yeah.
Was that a
the
thing
best 10 years of life?
Was that a thing in middle school? Or were they like, oh, they talked about it to you guys?
No,
Or you just
no, I was in
that?
high school. I was in high school, and my teacher told us about it. Maybe he was just talking about how it just happened, I guess. I don't know. It was a history class, Mr. Gregor.
Oh, interesting. So he was saying that as like this is quite a monumental thing.
Yeah, I think he was like talking about like just, oh, do you guys remember when this happened? I guess it had to have been that because I thought, no, he was 8th grade. Who was my
the funny thing was, I believe the British signed an agreement with the Chinese government, and well, Chinese at that time. They said something like, we get to lease, or not lease, I think maybe it was lease. We own the land for 99 years. And then the Chinese were like, yeah, sure, we have to sign the deal, right? We lost the war against you guys. So they signed the deal, and then ironically, it's like 1997, and it's like, okay, time to give it back. And the British are like, well, we kind of have to, right? As part of the deal. So, another random interesting thing. This is something that's kind of like I try to get away from in my topics. It's involving China because I used to live there. Not a great time, anyway. But interesting thing was, in China, you actually never own the land, right? Land or your property, because it's communist. Right?
okay.
So the state owns everything. But the funny thing was, I knew parents, and I taught their kids that they were like wealthy, and they told me that yes, myself, I own the land and house for 99 years. Isn't that interesting? They used the 99 years that they probably learned from the British. They got pissed off, so they used it for themselves. They use it. They have the 99 years thing, but it was so. My friend said she can give the title of the land or house to her daughter, and then the daughter owns it for 99 years.
Oh no, this is another Poyaya scheme.
Yeah.
Was this man's name Gregor MacGregor?
His name was She MacGregor. Yeah,
She.
But that's the point of China being capitalist, communist now. Basically, you still own the land. Anyway, maybe down the line, I'll do something about China. And my time there. Anyway, so yeah, cool. Like that went well. You
Ish.
actually got more right than I did.
Well, yeah, but mine are obscure. Yours are like there's gonna be people down there in the comments who are like, that guy's an idiot.
Obscenely obscure. Yeah.
But you might have learned something today.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's interesting. And I will say, people that if they watch it, they're like, "Oh my god, you guys got so much stuff wrong." I'm a history enthusiast. I like history. I'm not perfect at it, as opposed to Chris, who doesn't know anything, right?
I know nothing about history. Like
Right.
that was my worst subject.
Right. So, yeah, that's the history podcast, digital history podcast for tonight, and we'll try and be back next week if I don't know if time permits. I don't know, but
we'll see.
hope you enjoyed, and we'll come with a new topic next week. Okay, see you guys.
Cool.
Bye bye.
Later.